Sports, politics, and tradition converge this weekend for the CyHawk game between in-state rivals, the Iowa Hawkeyes, and the Iowa State Cyclones.
DITV reporters Brady Behrend and Collin Carrithers were on the field for Cyclones' 20-19 upset over the Hawkeyes.
Despite Iowa's loss to the Cyclones, they controlled much of the game and even went into halftime with a 13-0 lead.
After a loss like this, it's tough. There's not much you can say to make anybody feel better.
The Hawkeyes had a couple of missed opportunities in the first half. They had the chance to punch a couple touchdowns in, but had to settle for field goals both times.
I mean, we had 4 tries. You know, we can't just come up empty there. We got to find a way.
Quarterback Cade McNamara ended the game with just 99 yards and 2 interceptions. Despite the struggles on offense, Coach Ferentz has no plans to make a change at quarterback.
Yeah, we expect him to be our quarterback and expect some ups and downs. I've been saying it pretty consistently. He's still working his way back into shape.
Flipping to the defensive side of the ball, the Hawkeyes prevented the Cyclones from touching down in the first half, but they gave up unexpected big plays in the second half.
It's a 60-minute game, and you're only as good as your last play.
The Cyclones had the ball last, and they took a 30-yard deep shot to Jalen Knoll to set up a game-winning 54-yard field goal.
We're just competing on that last drive, and I mean that's what happens when you compete. You can't bat 1,000 sometimes.
But Collin, despite losing this game in heartbreaking fashion, one Hawkeye soared above all the rest in this battle.
Yeah, Caleb Johnson, despite all the offensive struggles, gave Iowa an early lead. It was just a week ago where Johnson scored 2 touchdowns in one half to begin the season, and even though it's only week 2, Iowa's number 2 is already playing some of his best football.
He's played well for us the last 2 years, but he's playing at a much higher level right now. Part of it's maturity. His focus is better. He's practicing better. I think he's got experience and maturity.
Johnson came out swinging, recording a 27-yard rushing touchdown to open up the scoring in the first quarter, as well as a 3-yard rush to the goal line in the third quarter. By the time the clock struck 0, Johnson would rack up 187 yards in total, averaging 7.5 yards per carry. The running back also recorded 3 receptions, which was the second most on the day for the Hawkeyes. And even with the stellar performance from RB1, he still felt he didn't do enough to help propel his team to a victory.
It's a team sport, so it's not just me. So it's everybody. Everybody's frustrated. Everybody's hurt by this. So I'm not just gonna be the selfish one and then just be, oh yeah, I'm frustrated with my team because we lost. We all lost.
With Caleb Johnson's success and growing number of rushes, Iowa State became more prepared for the run game, eventually slowing it and the Iowa offense down completely as they fell late to the Cyclones. And Brady, even though Caleb Johnson felt like he didn't do enough at times, when he did make great plays, the crowd was booming here at Kinnick, and anytime this CyHawk game is played, it brings a packed crowd at any location.
Yeah, that's right, Collin. It felt like everyone in the state was tuned into this matchup, including the state's politicians. We're going to send it to DITV's news director, Johnny Valtman, who was at a special tailgate.
Yes, guys, in the buzz of the CyHawk game, blood all the way into Coralville, where U.S. House of Representatives from Iowa hosted a tailgate with the election in just under 2 months.
In addition to this being a great game day between black and gold and red and gold, we have a real battle. A battle between red and blue.
Hosted by Iowa's District 1 Representative Marionette Miller Meeks the day after her birthday, all 4 of Iowa's representatives were at the tailgate. The 3 spoke about the importance of re-electing Miller Meeks.
So everybody in Congress goes to her, and that's healthcare. She's a doc. She knows what's going on.
We cannot afford to see this district. We need to send Marionette's common sense leadership back.
Come November, the Iowa Republicans are looking to keep all 4 of the state's representative seats red, as stiff competition is expected in District 1 and 3.
We're a team, and you see how great it is. The whole delegation works together and does what's best for Iowa. That's what will change Washington, D.C., isn't it? And Marionette's just the one to do it.
Pro-Palestine protesters stood outside the event, and 4 were inside the event before being escorted out for disrupting the speakers.
Just like you just saw. I appreciate your comments. I'm happy to talk with you at the end. So we have...
After Q&As with athletes and the crowd, Miller Meeks talked about her vision of what Iowa and America should be.
We want to make our districts and our nation and our country the best place to be, raise a family, grow,
Now, before the game or tailgates, there was a first step towards the CyHawk game that took place Friday morning. DITV's Assistant News Director Jayce Bertrand has the story of the tradition done to deliver the game ball to Kinnick.
Thanks, Johnny. I'm here at the Tama Toledo Country Club, where some Hawkeyes and Cyclones are getting together to give back to the community.
Cadets from the University of Iowa ROTC gathered one day before the CyHawk game to accept a symbolic game ball from the Iowa State ROTC. This tradition has been carried out by both groups for 35 years. Starting at Kinnick Stadium, the cadets traveled to Williamsburg, Marengo, and Belle Plaines, supporting local food banks and visiting nearby schools before receiving the ball in Tama.
The intent is to bring the spirit of the game out into the local communities. And we're going to recognize the students who have been identified as some of the standout people within their schools.
It's great to get out in the community. The cadets and the kids at the schools and the veterans at the veteran home get a lot out of it.
The cadets ran a combined 12 miles over the duration of the trip. Students from local schools were also led in chants and exercises to prepare them for the big game.
It's just a great start to our school year. It's one of our favorite events, and it really gets the momentum going forward.
The kids love it more, especially the younger ones. The younger they are, the more they love it. They jump a ton of excitement.
After handing off the game ball, cadets from both schools were allowed to mingle, allowing for some banter between rivals.
I feel like Iowa's carrying the energy today. I don't know. Y'all are slacking a little bit. I don't know about that one. You're not doing much with us. I guess we'll see tomorrow, though. We might be carrying more energy than you guys. Hawks by a million. We'll see.
And regardless of how the battle will end on Saturday, both groups of cadets are looking forward to carrying on the tradition. From the Tama Toledo Country Club, Jayce Bertrand, DITV.